Speaking of on the show, hey, let's do some NFL picks.
Sports Jam Picks of the Week.
Miami and Kansas City.
Wow, Kansas City is on fire, guys. They win on Monday night. They're 4-3, tied for first in the AFC West. Steven, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about this. Miami stays in the Andrew Luck sweepstakes. Kansas City goes to 5-3.
Yeah, they're playing at Kansas City. Kansas City wins big.
Atlanta in Indianapolis.
Really? Atlanta, bye week. Bye week in Indianapolis. They're not playing anywhere else. Not London, Toronto, wherever Chad likes them to play.
Montezuma.
Exactly.
Do the people in Indianapolis want the Colts to play in Indianapolis?
Yeah, they want them to keep losing, so they will.
They got Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
And soon to be Andrew Luck.
With a neck brace on, so Atlanta will destroy them.
Atlanta.
Tampa Bay in New Orleans.
Wow, could be the best first games of the week. Tampa Bay at New Orleans, who would have thought the Saints would lose to the Rams? Come on. I didn't see it coming. Nobody else out in the world saw it coming. They did lose. Now they come home to play against a Tampa Bay team who got beat by Chicago in London. There's the around the world game. They had a bye week, but it won't matter. New Orleans is going to come back strong. New Orleans is going to win this game, I think, by double digits.
I agree. Tampa Bay on the road is by far worse than at home. So Drew Brees, maybe 62 again. I don't know, but New Orleans will win.
The New York Jets in Buffalo.
Well, Chad, I'll agree with you this week. I like Buffalo. They look solid against the crummy Washington team, but they're at home.
They were at home last week.
Jets haven't won on the road yet, so I'm picking Buffalo.
Yeah, I think Buffalo has found that balanced attack. Scott Chandler comes alive as one of the premier tight ends in the league as far as catching touchdowns. That's all the guy does is catch touchdowns. You never see him in the middle of the field. Catches touchdowns. Fred Jackson, you give him the ball in the open field, and that boy just takes off. The Jets have not found a running game yet this year, and you know what? It won't matter if they have the best cornerback in Darrelle Revis. Buffalo is going to win this game at home.
Seattle in Dallas.
Wow, this is a game that should be fairly easy for Dallas. And if they don't win, then I'm going to wonder what is going on with that team. Is it the head coaching situation there? If Dallas doesn't win this game, I think Jerry Jones is going to be looking for a new head coach before the end of the season.
Well, when Miles Austin and Des Bryant were hurt, they were playing better than they are now. It's just they came back healthy. They looked like crap. Philadelphia destroyed them, but Seattle, they're horrible. Dallas will win.
Cleveland in Houston.
Well, Cleveland, they're a decent team. They're playing on the road, and they're horrible on the road. I remember the Seattle-Cleveland game. Was it 6-3, Chad?
Oh, my Lord.
Houston's coming on strong. They're smelling the blood in the water. They have to keep winning so they can win in their division because I picked them. Houston wins.
You weren't the only one that picked Houston to win that division. I had Houston winning it also. Keep that in mind. Go back to the tapes. Houston's going to win this game easily. Hey, maybe Andre Johnson will play this week. It won't matter. Houston is still that much better than Cleveland.
San Francisco in Washington.
Wow. So, as I was watching the pre-games last week, our friend Caliendo in Fox Sports said last week that Washington playing up in Canada against the Bills just means that Washington will suck in two countries. Well, now they come back to our country, and they're going to continue to suck. San Francisco is going to throttle them at home.
Yeah, I just want to see the handshake at the end of the game. That's all I'm concerned about because San Francisco's going to destroy them.
Cincinnati in Tennessee.
Cincinnati's they're in a division, a crazy division. Almost everybody's over 500. They have to win. They're looking good. I think they go into Tennessee. Chris Johnson, was he get like 4 yards a game with 10 rushes? I'm liking Cincinnati. I think they're going to pull it upset.
Yeah, we haven't picked a different game yet this week, and we're going to continue to not pick a different game this week. Cincinnati has one of the top-flight defenses in the NFL, and, will they have to stop what used to be the premier running back in the NFL? I've screamed and hollered on this show for several weeks now that Chris Johnson needs to learn how to run the ball. Hey, you know what? Just give the ball to Javon Ringer. Nah, they're probably not going to do that either. Cincinnati's going to win this one.
Denver in Oakland.
Oakland. I'm not even talking Tim Tebow. Oakland. Game over.
But he might throw 3 for 87 for 92 yards. You don't like Tim Tebow?
Yeah, it was funny when we were joking about Tim Tebow. The guy finally plays, and it's been a joke ever since then. He has the worst mechanics in the NFL. You know what we're about to see? We're about to see Brady Quinn play for the Broncos in about 3 weeks.
Chad, can somebody block for him, though? It's worse than Chicago Bears.
Brett Favre.
Oakland wins.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to throw that out. New York Giants in New England.
I know Chad's going to pick Giants because he wants New England to lose, so his Buffalo Bills could be in first. There's no way that's happening. They came off a bye week last week, and Pittsburgh pretty much manhandled them. At home, Tom Brady will not lose. New England big.
Yeah, you know what? I would have to agree. New England's at home, and Tom Brady doesn't lose at home. You know, we haven't been different yet this week. We're still not going to be different. We are picking every game the same. You know, the Dolphins almost beat the Giants. I mean, the world was turning upside down and just beating the crap out of us with these no-name, low-life teams winning in the first games. Miami almost did it to the Giants. The Giants are going to go on the road, and New England's going to be ticked off. Brady's going to throw, I don't know, let's see. Can he have 9 touchdown passes? Is that possible? Yeah,
No.
He might have 9 touchdown passes this week. New England's going to kill the Giants, even though I hate to say it.
St. Louis in Arizona.
The former Cardinals of St. Louis football hosting the current and former Los Angeles Rams of St. Louis. Okay, it doesn't really matter. I don't want either team to win because I can't decide who's going to win because they both stink that bad. But
Tied at 4.
St. Louis just won at home against New Orleans, and Arizona only wins at home. So I'm going to take Arizona just because Rob wants the game to be 5-4, and I'm going to pick that game 5-4, St. Louis.
5-4? I thought he said 4-4.
You know,
I said 4-4 it'd be a tie. He's
I'm
picking
saying
a win.
5-4. They got to kick an extra point on a safety.
Extra point on safety. See, oh man, you're
Isn't
delusional.
that a Canadian? That's a Canadian football league, isn't it?
It happens. 1 point plays in the Canadian League. Steven, who are you taking?
I'm telling you, I'm taking St. Louis. They look good. They look good against New Orleans, and they're confident. They're going to go into Arizona. Arizona was up 24-0, and they blew the lead. They're feeling down. St. Louis is up. St. Louis wins.
Jay Feely, the quarterback?
Yeah, he's better than Bradford.
Wow.
Green Bay in San Diego.
Wow, it's sad. I mean, Phillip Rivers can't even get the snap to kneel down on the ball so they can win against Kansas City. Green Bay is a machine. They absolutely annihilate San Diego.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. It's, you know, they come off the bye week. They're rested. A team that needs no rest, really. San Diego, they can't do anything. You know, maybe San Diego's defense can slow Green Bay down for a couple series. But, you know, and if maybe they get lucky like Minnesota did, at least their quarterback, Phillip Rivers, has a better shot than Christian Ponder. But then again, he can't control a snap. Yeah, Green Bay wins this one by double digits.
Baltimore in Pittsburgh.
Rematch. AFC playoffs. Rematch. Week 1. Results were different in both because the home team won both games. This time, I think Baltimore could pull, should pull, but won't pull the upset in Pittsburgh. I'm taking the Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger, they showed that they could throw the ball against New England. Now they're gonna show that they can run the ball against Baltimore. Mendenhall, look for him to have a big day against the Ravens. I'm taking Pittsburgh.
Why do we have to listen to a 7-hour thing about how Baltimore wasn't going to win? You know they're not going to win. They're at home. Pittsburgh's at home. Plus, Baltimore beat them down week 1. Pittsburgh, they circled this game on the calendar, kind of like Alabama, LSU. Pittsburgh comes out and just knocks some heads around.
Monday night, Chicago in Philadelphia.
Everybody's on the Dream Team bandwagon because they had a week off, which Andrew Reid was 12-0, now 13-0 after a bye week. But Chicago comes into town. I don't believe I see them play last week, so they're off a bye week. Forte's a stud. Philadelphia can't stop the run. Chicago goes into Philly, upsets them.
Now, Chicago, the last time they played on American soil was back in the 1940s, considering they just last played in London against Tampa Bay. They had a long layover, a 1-week layover, but they were on a high. Philadelphia is on fire, and it's not because of
On fire?
They beat Dallas, and they have won 3 games.
Andy Reid's 12-0 after a bye week. Why wouldn't they beat them?
They should have beaten them, and they did beat them. They beat them pretty good, and they've won 3 games in a row. It's going to be 4 games in a row. LaShawn McCoy is the reason. You pick Matt Forte as your running back. I'll take LaShawn McCoy as my running back. And yard for yard, McCoy's going to double what Matt Forte does. Philadelphia is going to win this one just like they did Sunday night. They're going to beat the snot out of Chicago. Double digits easily.
That hurts.
All right, gentlemen, this is the 2-minute warning. It is time now for the Sports Jam No Huddle. Mike Shanahan has coached 267 games without his team being shut out. This past week, when Buffalo defeated the Washington Redskins 23-0, Mike Shanahan's coached team, after 267 games, were shut out.
Tony La Russa announced his retirement this week after winning the World Series. And after 34 years of managing between the White Sox, the A's, and the Redbirds, numerous health problems, he's 67 years old. He has enough money. He's third all-time on the list of winningest managers with 2,728. He's got 3 World Series titles and one of only 2 managers to win it in both leagues. So why not retire on top?
Big East to invite Boise State, Navy, Air Force, SMU, Houston, Central Florida, and a couple high school teams because everybody's running away from the Big East. They're going to be even a bigger joke than they were this year.
Martinsville Tony Stewart takes the checkered flag and jumps into second in the NASCAR Sprint Cup standings. It's NASCAR, but with 3 races to go, Tony Stewart looks to be the first Sprint Cup champion since he last won it in 2005, ending Jimmy Johnson's streak of 5 years in a row. However, Tony Stewart sits in second, 8 points behind Carl Edwards, who is the current leader, and he, with Kevin Harvick and Brad Keselowski, 21 and 27 points behind him respectively. 3 races to go. Let's fasten on the seatbelt, boys. Let's go racing.
I did not know any of the names you just brought up.
You have to put that in there.
That's classic. That's classic.
James Storm got a concussion at the Impact Wrestling tapings the other night. I told you not to expect a long title run. And just to clarify something Kermit the Frog said when he was guest hosting Raw this week, apparently Vicky Guerrero is not Jack Swagger's mother. Who knew?
You think you're going to the Alabama-LSU game? Oh, bigger than the Super Bowl? Bigger than the BCS championship game? Well, it is. 1 ticket for the Alabama-LSU game costs $10,423.14. Why put the 14 cents on there? Well, if you buy 2 of them, it's over $20,000, and then you got to pay $17 shipping and handling to get them.
Gentlemen, that will do it for another edition of Sports Jam. I'm going to go check on my bank account, see if I can afford to watch some football in Tuscaloosa this week. I'm certain I've got all that money just laying around. Hey, why don't you guys, fans of ours, email us? Rob, what's that email address again?
That would be therealsportsjam@gmail.com.
Hey,
Don't forget to friend and like us on Facebook, too.
Hey, Steven, you ready for this football game? Because you don't sound like you're ready.
Which game? Alabama-LSU? Of course I'm ready. I talked about it all, the whole show. Why wouldn't I be ready?
Well, hopefully you're, for your sake, you're on cloud 9 by the end of the week. So, gentlemen, that will do it for Sports Jam. Again, for Stephen Peffer and Rob Steele, I'm Chad Cetera. Sports Jam, we're out.